Hey loves, welcome back. What if your soul has a unique path to evolve and you're not even aware of it? Today's episode is one that goes beyond the initial stages of spiritual awakening, beyond the light bulb moments, beyond the expansion, beyond the rush of remembering who you are. Because the truth is, after awakening, something else begins. Something that isn't always talked about. It's quieter, deeper, and often more confusing. And yet, this is where the real spiritual embodiment begins. Today, we are going to explore the 3 mysterious shifts that mark the next phase of your soul evolution, the ones that often catch even the most seasoned spiritual beings off guard. Each one of these steps serves as a sacred initiation, a refinement of your energy, purpose, and soul mastery. So if you've been feeling disconnected, uninspired, uncertain about who you are or what's next, know that you are not broken. You are evolving. So let's begin. The void is the first mysterious shift that happens after awakening. It is the space between who you were and who you are becoming. And it often feels like nothing. There's silence where there used to be guidance. There's stillness where there used to be momentum. And for many, this can be one of the most challenging parts of the entire spiritual path because everything in the human mind wants to fill the void. We've been programmed to believe that silence equals loss or that stillness means stagnation. But in truth, the void is sacred space. It's source clearing the energetic clutter so that your next octave of consciousness can anchor itself in. It's the recalibration between realities, a neutral zone where your energy unhooks from the old matrix of patterns and timelines and roles that you've outgrown. Let's talk about what actually happens inside this stage. When your consciousness ascends to a new level, your energy field begins releasing old coding. That means attachments dissolve, desire structures shift, the mind loses access to its old forms of control. And what's left in this deep nothingness? No direction, no inspiration, no clarity. This is because your frequency is recalibrating. Think of it as source defragmenting your soul's hard drive, clearing out that outdated information so that new programming can run. But the human self, it experiences that recalibration as emptiness, confusion, or loss. So what do most people do? They rush to fill it. They start another project. They find another spiritual modality or chase another high. Yet every time we try to fill the void, we interrupt the sacred reprogramming taking place beneath the surface. This is where higher mastery begins, learning to be still inside the unknown. In this stage, the most powerful act is non-doing. Not in the sense of giving up, but of surrendering the compulsion to force clarity. The void teaches you to trust without evidence. It purifies the parts of you that still need proof before believing. It reveals the subtle ego that says, if I'm not manifesting, I'm failing. But the awakened soul learns that sometimes the most fertile ground for creation looks like nothing is happening. Think about that seed that you plant in the winter, waiting for it to grow in the spring. This is where your next timeline gestates. It's the spiritual womb, the still dark space where the next version of you is quietly forming. So if you find yourself in the void, remember, you are not off path. You are inside the upgrade. Let's work through this together. Take a moment, uncross your arms, unclench your jaw, drop your shoulders. Now, internally, repeat after me. Not as an affirmation, but as a reprogramming command to your energy field. I allow myself to be rewritten by Source. I release the need to know before I am ready. I trust the pause between who I was and who I am becoming. This is energetic mastery, the willingness to let your system sit in neutrality long enough for divine intelligence to rebuild your frequency from 0 point. Energetically, what happens here is a frequency collapse. Your old resonance patterns disintegrate. You may notice your old manifestations no longer align. Your social circles, they shift. Your money flow changes. Even your body feels different. This is not regression, it is purification, because your energetic magnetism can only attract what you're compatible with. So before new manifestations arrive, the universe adjusts your internal resonance. That's why in the void, manifestation doesn't work the same. It's not that the universe has stopped listening to you. It's that you are being retuned for a higher octave of creation. So instead of asking, why isn't it working? Ask, what frequency am I being initiated into? That question shifts you from victimhood to mastery, from confusion to curiosity. Let's identify these energetic markers clearly so you can recognize the stage when it happens. You feel emotionally flat, even after spiritual highs. Old desires lose their appeal. Meditation feels quiet or disconnected. Nothing excites you, not even what used to inspire you. And guidance feels muted. These are not failures. They are confirmations that you are in the in-between space of your ascension. And remember, the void always precedes quantum clarity. Always. All right, loves. If you've been feeling that strange emptiness or pause we just explored, that's the void. Now, what follows next is something even more profound. Because once your energy stabilizes into that nothingness, once you stop resisting the silence, something begins to unravel within you. And that is your identity. Stage 2 is the loss of identity. This is where the ego scaffolding that used to hold your sense of self begins to dissolve. It's where you no longer fit inside the old version of you, the achiever, the healer, the helper, the mother, the business owner, the teacher, the spiritual seeker. Whatever titles once defined you start to feel like costumes that no longer fit. You feel yourself slipping out of them, not because you failed, but because your consciousness has outgrown those identities. When awakening first begins, your ego often reshapes itself around your new spiritual awareness. It says to you, okay, now I'm the awakened one. Now I'm the healer. Now I'm the conscious entrepreneur. And that's normal. It's the ego adapting. But as your soul matures, that adaptation begins to dissolve as well. Because ultimate awakening isn't about having a better identity. It's about realizing that identity itself is fluid. It's a tool, not a truth. And that realization can feel terrifying. You begin to ask, if I'm not this person anymore, then who am I? If I'm not chasing that purpose, am I lost? If I'm not recognized, do I still matter? Those questions are the exact portals through which your consciousness expands. Now, here's why that occurs on an energetic level. Each identity is a frequency construct. It is a bundle of thought forms, emotions, and energetic agreements that create a version of you capable of navigating a certain timeline. When your soul evolves, that bundle of agreements becomes too small. The energetic architecture cannot hold the new consciousness you are stepping into. So your higher self begins unraveling the threads of the old identity. This is why you may feel deep confusion about your purpose, detachment from what used to motivate you, emotional volatility because the ego feels like it's dying, a sense that people no longer see you, even if nothing externally has changed. It's not that you are disappearing, it's that you are transitioning from personality consciousness to essence consciousness. Essence versus identity. Let's talk about this difference clearly. Identity is I am this. It's finite. It's based on form, on roles, and on expressions. Essence is I am. Full stop. It's infinite. It's the space that holds all the possible versions of you. When you awaken to essence consciousness, you begin realizing that everything you ever were was simply an expression through a temporary lens. You are not your healer role. You are the consciousness that expresses healing. You are not the entrepreneur. You are the creator essence that expresses innovation and service through business. You are not the mother, the artist, or even the spiritual teacher. You are the divine intelligence that moves through all those expressions as needed. This is the sacred dismantling. Let's pause here for a moment and bring this into your awareness. Think of a part of your life that used to feel certain, a role or a title you've recently outgrown. Maybe it was a job, a relationship, a mission, or a way of just showing up. And now it feels empty. Not because you did anything wrong, but because your consciousness has moved beyond it. So place your hands on your heart and say softly, I honor the identities that served me. I release them with gratitude. I am open to the essence that I truly am. When you're doing, or what you're doing here, is retraining your nervous system to feel safe without labels. Because for most of us, identity has been our safety blanket. When it disappears, the ego panics, it thinks it's dying. But your true self is simply expanding beyond what the ego can comprehend. Another layer of this stage is what I call the collapse of the mirror. For most of your life, you've known yourself through reflection, how others see you, how success validates you, how spiritual progress confirms that you're doing it right. But as your vibration rises, those mirrors stop reflecting back the old you. The universe removes them, not as punishment, but as purification. It's an energetic detox of external validation, because your new level of creation can only come from self-sourced identity. Your reality must be shaped from the inside out. So when those mirrors disappear, when others no longer affirm your path, the ego feels abandoned, but the soul feels free. That's when true sovereignty begins. So how do you navigate this without collapsing into fear or confusion? There are 3 keys that I want you to anchor in. 1, witness without gripping. You do not need to rebuild an identity right away. Let the dismantling finish before you decide who you'll be next. 2 is return to neutrality often. When you feel the panic of, I don't know who I am, breathe into your heart and come back to, I am. That alone is enough to ground you in essence. And lastly, replace purpose with presence. You are not here to find purpose. You are here to embody consciousness. When you embody presence fully, purpose reveals itself organically. Let that land. Now let's go one level deeper. Your nervous system is wired around the identities you've held. Every pattern of safety, every social role, every relational dynamic is encoded into your body. When identity dissolves, your body literally loses its reference points. That's why you may feel fatigued, anxious, or ungrounded during this stage. Your physical vessel is trying to operate on outdated programming. The solution isn't to push harder, it's to recalibrate slowly. Give yourself time to let your body catch up with your consciousness. Eat grounding foods, spend time in nature, limit stimulation, you are essentially rebooting your entire system. And with each breath, you are training your body to feel safe existing as energy first and identity second. That is mastery. As we complete the second stage, the loss of identity, remember this. What's falling away is not your life falling apart. It's your energy field shedding everything that can't come with you into your next dimension of being. Identity loss is not death, it's resurrection. It is your light returning to its original source code. And when that happens, something extraordinary begins to awaken. Your sensitivity heightens, not as a weakness, but as a superpower. And that's where we'll go next. But before we go deeper, I want to take a moment to speak directly to you. Yes, you listening right now. If this message, if this energy is landing in your body, if you are feeling that pull in your heart, that recognition that says, this is me, this is what I've been moving through, then this moment is your confirmation. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss another soul activation like this one. And if this episode is speaking truth into your spirit today, I want you to drop the word yes in the comments, because that yes is more than just a word. It is a declaration to the universe that you are ready to step into the next level of your awakening. And finally, if someone you love is going through these same shifts, that loss, that sensitivity, that deep questioning, share this episode with them. You never know whose spirit you'll touch just by passing this energy forward. All right, take a deep breath with me and let's move into the next phase of this journey together. So we've journeyed through the void, that sacred stillness where everything dissolves into nothing. We've stripped away identity, the constructs that kept you small and tethered to form. And now what rises from that clearing is sensitivity. The third and final shift that occurs when your spiritual awakening ends is heightened sensitivity to energy. When your spiritual awakening stabilizes, your energy field no longer carries the dense filters that once dulled your perception. Your consciousness becomes a finely tuned instrument, receptive, porous, and deeply attuned to frequency. You begin to feel everything. The emotions of others, the vibration of a space, even the hidden energy behind words. It's as if the volume of the world has been turned up. Every sound, every feeling, every subtle nuance now reaches your awareness. And at first, let me tell you, it can feel like way too much. You may find yourself withdrawing from crowds, feeling drained after social interactions, or overwhelmed by noise and stimulation. This is not regression. This is evolution. Your system is recalibrating to operate in a multidimensional awareness where energy, emotion, and intuition merge into one language. Let's ground this into the mechanics of energy. Before awakening, your energetic body functioned mostly in survival mode. It was designed to protect you from overload, so it numbed out subtle sensations. You move through the world shielded by density. After awakening, that density dissolves, the shield drops, your energy centers open, especially your heart, solar plexus, and crown. You're no longer perceiving through ego filters, you're perceiving through the soul. And the soul, my friends, feels everything. This is why empathic sensitivity skyrockets after awakenings, because your light body is expanding, integrating higher dimensional data and translating it through your nervous system. The challenge? Your physical body hasn't yet mastered how to regulate that influx. So you must learn to become an energetic master, not by numbing again, but by stabilizing your field. There are 3 stages within this sensitivity phase. Stage 1 is overwhelm. You're absorbing everything unconsciously. You may mistake other people's emotions for your own. Stage 2, discernment. You begin identifying, this isn't mine. You recognize energy signatures and start filtering with awareness. Stage 3 is mastery. You operate as a conscious transmitter. You choose which frequencies to embody and which to release. Let's break that down for you. In stage 1, you might wake up feeling heavy for no reason. You might walk into a room and instantly feel sad or anxious. That's your open field absorbing ambient energy. In stage 2, awareness enters. You begin saying, wait, this heaviness, this is not mine. You learn to witness rather than to merge. And in stage 3, you become a lighthouse. You don't absorb energy. Now you transmute it. You walk into a room and raise the vibration simply by existing. That's where you're headed. Let's be clear. Heightened sensitivity is not fragility. It's responsibility. You are now a frequency keeper. Your energy affects others more than words ever could. This is why the universe heightens your awareness, so that you can consciously calibrate the vibration you bring into every space. When your sensitivity is untrained, you absorb the collective chaos. When it's trained, you transmute it. You become the stabilizer, the grounded center in the storm. And that's exactly what this planet needs right now. Here's how to work with this in your daily life. First, check your baseline daily. When you wake up, take a moment to sense your emotional state before engaging with anyone, including your phone. That will become your reference point. Notice the changes. If your energy suddenly dips, pause and ask, is this mine? If the heaviness lightens just by acknowledging that question, then it was not yours. Release through breath. Imagine exhaling energy that does not belong to you back into the earth for transmutation. Inhale pure source light. And very important, ground before and after interactions. Every energetic exchange, conversation, social media, even text messages carries frequency. Center yourself before and after, always. This is energetic hygiene. Just as you shower your body daily, you must now cleanse your field daily. Your heightened sensitivity is not here to isolate you. It is here to elevate you. I'd like you to ask yourself something. Where in my life have I been overwhelmed by the energy of others? Where have I been carrying emotions that are not mine? Now imagine releasing those energies like mist dissolving under sunlight. They simply evaporate. What remains is your pure golden frequency, stable, radiant, and calm. Now repeat softly. I am aligned with my own energy. I am a conscious creator of frequency. My sensitivity is my strength. And let that truth ripple through every cell in your body. Now, let's bring this all together. The void, the loss of identity, and the heightened sensitivity. These 3 stages are not separate. They are a continuum of transformation. In the void, everything stops. You face silence, emptiness, and stillness. That is the dismantling of illusion. In the loss of identity, everything unravels. The false self dissolves so your essence can rise. That is the restructuring of truth. In heightened sensitivity, everything expands. You begin perceiving reality as energy, not as thought, not form, but as vibration. That is the embodiment of your divine consciousness. Together, these phases, they mark the end of awakening and the beginning of embodiment. You're not here to awaken anymore. You've already done that. You are here to live awakened. Living awakened means you no longer chase meaning, you become it. You no longer seek purpose, you embody it. You no longer follow energy, you direct it. This is mastery. And now, as we begin to close this transmission, let me speak to you from the higher stream of energy that moves through us all, the collective voice of your higher self. You are not lost. You are expanding beyond recognition. Every emptiness you felt was an invitation to hear your soul more clearly. Every identity that fell away was a veil dissolving from your truth. Every sensitivity that overwhelmed you was your body remembering how to feel divine frequencies again. You are not breaking. You are refining. You are not alone. The universe is adjusting itself around your vibration. Do not fear the silence. It is your initiation. Do not resist the shedding. It is your liberation. Do not hide your sensitivity. It is your power. The next phase of your evolution begins not in doing, but in being. You are the stillness, the awareness, and the love that guides worlds. Stand in your light, beloved one. The earth is ready for you now. Let's take a final moment to ground this. Place your hand over your heart. Feel your pulse. The rhythm of life is moving through you. That is your reminder you are here, embodied, conscious, and awake. You are the bridge between the infinite and the physical. And your awakening has not ended. It has simply matured. You are now walking as consciousness in human form. And as we prepare to close, I want to invite you into what's coming next. The High Priestess Energy Portal for the week of November 2nd. This upcoming portal carries the frequency of divine discernment and embodied truth. It's the perfect continuation of what we've just explored today. Because as your sensitivity heightens, you'll begin navigating life from a place of deeper knowing. And the High Priestess energy amplifies that intuitive intelligence. It sharpens your ability to read energy, to trust your perception, and to align what's real for you. So stay tuned for that transmission on Supercast. It's going to activate your intuitive field like never before. And before we fully close, oh my God, I'm so excited to share that in next week's episode, I will be joined by author Ruff Victoria, the brilliant minds between happy soul, hungry mind. Together, we will be exploring the delicate dance between your soul's contentment and your mind's endless search, and how mastering that dynamic can unlock the peace you've been craving all along. It's a conversation you are not going to want to miss. Deep, awakening, and incredibly aligned with where you are right now. So make sure you're subscribed and that you're sharing this episode with someone who's also walking this path, because these conversations are meant to ripple out into the collective. Until then, loves, remember, the end of your awakening is not an ending at all. It's the moment your soul finally takes the wheel. You are not who you were, and that's the greatest confirmation that you're right where you're meant to be. Take a deep breath, return to your body, and walk forward as the light you came here to be. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. There's a whole universe guiding you. I'll see you here in the next episode, here inside Awaken Your Authentic Self.